So this machine, I've just done a line of test sewing and it looks absolutely perfect to me. When the tension is correct, the stitch on top, ignore the overlocking, the stitch on top looks exactly the same as the stitch on the bobbin, on the bottom even, and it does. If you see any of the top thread coming through to the bottom, if you see any of the bottom thread coming through to the top, and sometimes it's worth using two different colours if you're trying to diagnose what's going on and what you're seeing. So different colour on the bobbin, different colour on top. If you see that, then go and investigate. So on the top tension, on most modern sewing machines, I just tend to leave it on whatever it says the average is. So on these ones, you can see the numbers 4, 5 and 6 have little boxes around them. So 5 would be the correct tension for almost all threads and almost all fabrics, and you'll just need to adjust that. If you're using a considerably thicker or thinner thread, pretty much that should be it. If you've got it on the average tension, on some machines it's an A for automatic or an N for normal, and it's still causing tension problems, and it's not the needle because you've changed the needle, then you might need to adjust the tension on the bobbin case. So on machines like this that have a front loading bobbin system, the tension screw is here. So you just get a little flathead screwdriver, and if you need to tighten it up, you turn it clockwise. If you need to loosen it up, you turn it anti-clockwise. If you find you have too much of the top stitch coming into your stitch, the top thread, and it's making loops at the bottom of your work, and it's not the top tension being wrong, then it could be that the bobbin tension is too tight and it's pulling too much of the top thread through. So then loosen it a little bit, just a quarter of a turn at a time. Do a little test stitch and see how that's affecting things. If you find that your bobbin thread is coming up to the top, this is much less likely, by the way, and your top stitch, your top thread is all correct and the tension is correct, then it could be that this needs tightening up. If it's just looking weird and loopy and your top tension is correct and your thread is correct and your needle is correct, then also just try adjusting this. Very occasionally these do fail, so these little catches here, this slide, almost like this curved plate here, is the bobbin tension. If you find that it's standing really quite proud of the bobbin case, there might be something stuck underneath there. Often they get bits of fluff stuck underneath. Try and take the screw off altogether and clean underneath there. They do sometimes just break, you know. It might be that the catch has broken off, it might be that this plate has snapped in half, it might just be that it's no longer functioning properly, so you can get new ones of these for like £5. So if you find that this is no longer fit for purpose, then by all means do just replace it. If you need to adjust the tension on a drop-in bobbin, such as in this machine, so here's one that's from another machine, the tension screw is here. So you can usually access these by taking the stitch plate off, taking the bobbin case out, and then just going in there. Exactly the same idea. Do just, turn them a quarter turn at a time to see what effect that has, and just keep fiddling with it until you have the correct tension.